So we have a list of friends in our database, and we want to be able to display it on a web page. So to do that, we have this URL, localhost 8000, our server, /friends. So /friends will take us to this route in our server routes file. So it's going to be app.get, because it's a get function, /friends. And that will display an HTML page with a table, and I'll go more over the table once you have data to put into it. For now, it's just empty. So in this route, we'll also run this function called friends.show, and that is in our server controller file. So our .show will run a friend.find function, and so it'll just find all the friends in our friend schema, which is available in our models. And then Mongoose is going to basically send that friend.find function into our Mongo database in our friends collection. That will return our data into Mongoose, into models, into our controller, and it'll be the results of our friend.find. And these results will go as a JSON object into our RES, our response. Now that will get sent over to here, and we have available to us res, our response. So this response is now accessible from Angular, specifically from the Angular factory. So in our Angular factory, we have a .index function, which takes as an parameter a callback function. First, we'll run an http.get method on /friends, which will take us to this route, and it has this response. And then after that, it'll run the callback function, the one that it brought in as a parameter, using this response as a parameter of the callback. Now what the callback is over here in our Angular controller. Our Angular controller, it has an object called scope, which is how it communicates with the view. Our scope, first we initialize something called friends, which is an empty array. We'll fill that up. Then we have a scope.index, which is the function which ends up being our callback. What our function does is first it runs the friend factory.index, which is this guy. And then once it gets the response, that response becomes this data, which goes into here and becomes our scope.friends. So this data, in effect, will go into this array. Now we have this array, which came from the data, which came from the response, which came all the way over here from the Mongo database, in this long, arduous journey into our controller. And now that it's in our scope can send that over to our view. And our view can display it in this table. So this table, it basically starts with a header row, displaying a name and an age, and then it's going to run an ng repeat on friend in friends, meaning it'll go through this .friends array and it'll iterate through it. So each friend, it'll display using ng bind. It'll display that friend's name and then the friend's age, and it'll just show each row as a row in the table. And now we have all our friends.